Yeah. Yeah.
Look at me.
Benchmark. They're speaking the facts that you wanna hear. That rapper jersey, the vision is clear. Diamonds glisten like a chandelier. You know what I'm here for, like Marshawn Lynch. At clutch time, we do not flinch. Real brothers, we do not switch. Hit home runs with the right pitch. Who run the city? What to do when they hating on you? I feel like Kobe 2010. I ain't taking the L, all I need is a win. Business is business, you know how they go. You playing the seats, now it's on the grow. Tuning now, gotta be in the know. Showtime, bitch, my butter blow.
I ain't seen from now. Bowser really, I'm just trying to tell you.
Next my podcast. What's up, bro? Oh boy. Yeah, welcome back to another episode of the Benchmark ENT. We are back again. We're gonna be on Zoom at least for one more week. We apologize. We of course want to be in person, but you know, Omarion, Delta, Omega, Theta, they out there tweaking all the bearings, so we gotta be safe. But we got the full crew with us here tonight. CJ Moneybags, North Face Fitted. How you doing tonight?
Well, man, excited to be back for another episode. Coming off a great episode last week, so just excited to be back.
Greg, debate your mother. I'm not coaching. Senzimir, how you doing tonight?
No, bro, I don't think I could do it this year, bro. I don't think I could do it this year. I'll be around, but I can't. I'm gonna be in a consultant role this year.
You don't love the grind no more?
They're gonna bring me in, huh?
You don't love the grind no more?
Yeah, I got different plans. I got different grind to get to.
Damn, this guy
That's
turned
all.
into D-Wade.
Yeah, he about to push out one of them kids. That's a different type of grind.
All right, yeah. What? All right, now you're getting carried away. Like I said, I'm gonna be the last one in this chat to get there.
Nah. You next in line. You second. You are you next in line, Greg.
Lindsay already said y'all gotta hurry up.
Who's
Exactly.
Who's y'all?
You, Greg.
Lindsay?
You.
Yeah.
Lindsay better stop speaking. I'll tell Lindsay I don't like people speaking craziness over me, bro. I'm protected, bro. I'm protected, bro. I ain't having it.
Better get busy on your wedding night.
And of course, we got Miles, mixtape, Father of the Year, Davenport. How you doing tonight?
I'm doing good, yo. The Knicks making moves early before the trade deadline, so I'm excited.
And you finally got a cut. You look good, bro.
Like I said, Omarion, Delta, Theta, Omega out here tweaking, so I'm rough with it today, but it is what it is. We just gonna have to rock it out like this. New Year's, man. We in 2022 right now. Do y'all have any New Year's resolutions? Do y'all believe in resolutions? We didn't really get to talk about it last episode. It was so jam-packed. Where y'all stand on New Year's resolution, and if y'all have any for 2022?
For me personally, I don't think about it like that in terms of, oh, new year, time to set a new goal type of thing. I know most people do and some people do, right? But for me, like I already had pre-existing goals that I had already set for myself, and I'm still, working on knocking those down. And I don't give myself, just because it's January 1st, a new goal to accomplish just because of a date, right? I'm already working on goals that I had set for myself and chasing those down. And, once I accomplish those, I'll set new ones no matter what time of year it is. And that's just how I think I, move and operate. And just because it's a new year, doesn't have to be new year, new me type thing. Most people that, go ahead and post all that stuff, they're just doing it to show people that, not necessarily the goals that they have for themselves, but, kind of just, want to be acknowledged in the type of way. And, I've never been about that. So for me, New Year's resolutions, isn't corny, but it's just not something that, I mess with like that.
Mr. Davenport?
Get back in the gym. I was towards the end of the year, I was slacking. I stopped balling, stopped lifting. So I got to get back in shape, summer 2022. If, God willing, they let us out.
You gonna be outside?
Shirtless summer,
I'll be
year.
outside.
Hell, I'm gonna be outside.
I'm trying to, get back into school, grad school. One I really want to start doing is knocking out 2 books a month. Like try to get back into reading and, building this up here instead of, playing video games and other stuff.
I love that.
I don't believe. I think New Year's resolutions are very performative. I don't believe in the announcing them and like CJ said. I don't really subscribe to that. But I mean, everybody has goals. I got goals I want to accomplish every year and things like that.
Motorcycle insurance.
Similar to him. What
I
has
got-
happened? We can't even let that slide.
We look forward to being in person again. Miles over there letting his
I can't let that slide. I was like, wait, was that me? Did I just do that?
Nah,
My
That
fault.
was one of my-
Miles watching his
Yeah,
sneaky
started-
link real quick on his on the dark web.
I was like, yo, what happened?
you over there watching Black Panther, the new one, before it come out.
Nah, you know how ESPN on the website they got those little on the side the videos.
Yeah,
I'm not
Yeah,
even.
I have
watching
that.
it. I don't even have it up, and it's like it went
It's-
on. pause.
that happens.
Yeah, if your
Yeah.
computer not mute, it'll just start playing.
Yeah, that happens. That's
But
mad
go
funny.
ahead, Greg. You don't believe in New Year's resolutions? You don't subscribe to that?
No, man, I don't subscribe to New Year's resolutions though. I have goals like everybody else, but I think that a lot of times these things are pretty performative, and I don't got to tell you what my goals are for me to have goals. Like I just got to go out and do it. I actually think that if you just internalize your goals and you're trying to accomplish it on your own, as opposed to telling everybody about it, you're probably more likely to pull it off. There's an added pressure when everybody knows that you want to get in the gym. Not that Miles telling a podcast that is like performative, but if you go on IG and you're over here telling people that, it's a lot different than telling your friends about it or something like that. It's just a whole different layer to it. So I try not to announce anything, try to keep it on a DL, but I don't know. Maybe that's just the way I was raised or whatever. It's different.
You got to keep it P.
Yo, the album was hard. The album was hard. I like that album. I like the album.
I mean, I think on a certain level, you have to tell somebody for accountability because a lot of times, if we be honest, we had the greatest ideas, greatest intentions, but if somebody don't know about it, that's going to hold you accountable. In a lot of cases, at least everybody on the screen, whether it's family or Chris, Greg, our girls, definitely, they hold us accountable. I know Miles, just seeing your son, that holds you accountable, that you got to do certain things to make sure you setting a good example. So I think on a certain level, we do have to share it. I think on certain instances, it's okay to share stuff on Instagram just because for motivational purposes. Somebody might be in the same situation as you and be like, yo, I don't think this is possible. And hey, let me put this out there. Hey, Greg, what? Greg took a whole year, 2 years off from training, and he's back training, and he's got the biggest clients and things of that nature. Like, I think those type of things is needed on a certain level, and it all is about your intentions. Now, that's the part that none of us could tell when it comes to IG. We can't tell where somebody's heart is at. Only God knows that. So at the end of the day, if you doing it saying that it's for motivational purposes, but you really want that attention, it'll show eventually. It'll see it, and that's what God says anyway. Bruh, so if you want to do this out in the open, do all that, cool. That's your reward right there. That's your reward right there.
Thanks.
Me personally, I like to take the reward from God and the quiet, and y'all can see it blow up later. You feel me? So I don't need y'all validation and whatnot. For me, New Year's resolution, I was just telling my employees this. I think it's straight nonsense. We see it all the time. We have friends, family, people on IG. We see, yo, January 1st, I'm gonna do this. So you got high blood pressure, high cholesterol. You gonna wait the January 1st to make these changes?
Damn,
You
why
know-
you coming for Miles?
Hey, I don't got none of that. Chill.
No, I'm just playing with y'all.
I think it's the dumbest stuff in the world. Like, yo, you in debt. You need to fix your finances. I'm gonna wait to January 1st. So the 3 months before that, while you still out here getting illegal PPE loans and you out here going on vacation, can't afford. January 1st, oh man, it's gonna be a new year, new me. No, it's the same you. It's just gonna be you're gonna change it. You're gonna put on a facade for like 2-3 months.
Real.
I think it needs to be basically how you view it. If you need to change anything in your life, just work on changing. Like everybody said on here, we got goals. You don't have to have I gotta wait till this time to actually pursue that goal, because at some point those dreams just go deferred. At some point, you can't be talking about, I'm 45, like, yo, I'm about to go chase this ball dream. You can try it if you want, but ain't nobody in the league about to sign you at 45. So there's certain things, you feel me, like you got to do it in a certain time frame. And of course, you set for yourself your goals. Y'all need to knock this out in 6 to 8 months. You tell somebody to hold you accountable, to get on you. Yo, you said you wanted to do this in 6 to 8 months, right? I'm telling you, I'm holding you accountable out of love. You ain't, at this pace, you ain't going to accomplish that goal. So I think that's how I view it on New Year's resolutions. Of course, I got goals this year, things I want to do, things I want to improve, the podcast, et cetera, et cetera. The people that need to know. And when I'm led by God to share it, I share it with people. And that's how we move. One of the things that I definitely want to try to do, which is prompting this next conversation, saw my cousin, shout out to Nagy, chef. It's Torch, owns a whole catering restaurant business over in OKC. Shout out to him. He posted, in 2022, this year, you should upgrade your vocabulary and stop using the N-word. For me personally, I like to hold myself in a certain light that I think that I have a pretty extensive, vocabulary, but I do use the word. In our community, do we ban that word? I know I'm trying not to use it as much, and I know I like to, again, use other vocabulary to get my point across without using the N-word. Shoot, I try not to curse as much as possible, and I just try to use my vocabulary in every other way but to curse, but to use the N-word. So what are y'all viewpoints on this, specifically in our community? We already know. Everybody else, y'all shouldn't be using this, period. We know that. We know that. We're not talking about them. We're talking about us right now. Do you think that's something that we should change, like the use of the N-word?
Me personally, my stance on it is I'm open to having a conversation as long as you are a Black person. I see it. Like, that's my only rule about it. I think as long as you're Black, I'm willing to have the conversation with you. I'm willing to respect wherever you're coming from with it. Do I subscribe to the idea that, because you use the N-word, that, you don't have an extensive vocabulary, you're kind of where you're selling yourself short a little bit? No, I don't. I use the word. I use it selectively. I know a lot. I run in different circles, and I won't use it during certain times for obvious reasons. But with certain people that I'm comfortable with, I'll use that word. And for me, it's always been as simple as, repurposing that word and taking it back from its initial meaning and what it meant during slavery and what it meant throughout the history of just being Black in America. That, to me, it's pretty cool. It's pretty cool. Not every culture can say they've done that, honestly. I know it may have started in ignorance, right? When you're saying that word and people are like, I say, why would you say that word? It means something terrible. Doesn't it remind you of a terrible time? But at the same time, I do think that there's something pretty cool about the culture that you can actually say that word and it means something totally different than what it initially meant when it was said. So, and also it's not even the same exact word. Like, that's also, it's the same base of the word, but it's different, and for obvious reasons. I ain't got to get into why. But it's different. I don't need people listening to the podcast and over here trying to, compare. But y'all know what I mean. Like, it's a different word. So I do say it. I've never thought about I've never thought about not saying unless I'm, again, around certain people that I don't want to say it around. I'm in full control of when I say it and how much I say it, and all that stuff. But yeah, I don't view it that way. As long as you're a Black person, I'm going to have that conversation with you, and I'm willing to respect wherever you come from with it, though. Like, whatever your ground rules are, it's up to every single individual Black person to make those rules for themselves. Whatever those ground rules are for you, I respect it. And I'll always do my best to respect whoever I'm around. So however comfortable they are with that word, I'll make sure that I'm adjusting myself accordingly to make sure that I'm keep making sure they're comfortable. But overall, I don't really have a problem with it. Like, I don't. Y'all know I say it.
And I think that's the beauty of it. And Greg, you hit the nail on the head. Is everybody's situation with that word, as a Black person, is going to have a different experience with it, right? Based on where they grew up, and based on how commonly or uncommonly the word was used in that area. And for some people, their grandparents may have went through something terrible, and they were brought up like, hey, don't say that word, and they may feel a certain type of different way about it. But like, for other people, I grew up in an area where we repurposed that word, right? And like Greg said, we took that back from where it was once known as something ignorant, and we made it something that not we, but we kind of rolled with it, and again, used it in as a term of endearment, and essentially basically using it as the word bro, right? And I don't think, like Greg said, it's not up to me, it's not up to Greg. It's all about how you feel comfortable using that word and the situation that you're in. Know the room, know who you're talking to. And again, I don't go out and just start slinging the word and saying that like that. But have I used it in the past? Absolutely. With friends, not as a term of something negative, but something positive.
I mean, it's tough, like, because I feel like rap has kind of desensitized this word completely. Like, if you look at it, like before rap came around, like during the civil rights movement, somebody used that word towards you, it's not something like endearing. But now, rap uses it so frequently. Now I hear like white people saying it comfortably, Spanish people saying it comfortably. Like, I don't understand it, because it was a word that was used towards us, because all of us in this forum are of African American descent. So for it to now, I get where you guys are coming from, but at the same time, the way some people are using it now, that's where I try to use it less, because I'm just like, damn. Like, I walk past people on the street, like some white guy who, tries to, appropriate like Black culture, and got a do-rag on, headphones, rapping like YG or Drake. And I'm just like, am I supposed to be okay with that? Just because, the music says it, that doesn't make it okay for you to be able to say it. So I don't know.
Well, do you subscribe to the idea that because that whole idea when white people say it is, well, you guys say it, so it's not that big of a deal. So do you think that we have to stop saying it for them to stop saying it? It's because I've always thought that's
a conversation to be had. That's
I've always thought that was BS. That infuriates.
That's a cop out for them to not face repercussions for saying it. They're like, oh, you say it. It's the same way when I hear people say like Black Lives Matter, but also you guys got to deal with Black on Black crime too, because that's one of those things that you guys deal with prevalently in the Black community. So it's like there shouldn't be a but in the conversation.
Something that you said right there too, right? So it's funny you mentioned the music, because I mentioned that having this conversation before the show with my wife, like Nikki, like, yo, this is what we're talking about today. I think it's gonna be a good conversation. And in regards to banning it and stop using it, it can't be done because of music. Can't be done because of music. And often, as you said, I hear other ethnicities using the word, especially when the music come on, and they feel it's justified, or they feel they down, or they really be asking us like, yo, so can I use it? None of y'all can use it. None of y'all get a pass. I don't care if you're the biggest Drake, YG, Lil Wayne, Nicki Minaj fan. None of y'all get a pass. It's supposed to be, again, something that's for our community, but that's the issue. It's for our community. And like Greg said, they use it and try to say, well, y'all use it. That's the thing where it's the blurred lines. They want to use it, and they use that as justification. But in regards of banning it, it won't be stopped because of music. And that's the thing. I was saying, yo, if we used it less, some people probably would now feel like, oh, all right, they're not using it, we can't use it either. The thing is, we not in this specific topic as a race, we will never agree completely on what to do with the word. No matter how much we could switch it up, repurpose it, it won't be agreed upon. And you mentioned people say the Black Lives Matter. What about black on black crime? I just want to debunk that whole conversation. You know, there's white on white crime too, right? Hispanic on Hispanic crime. When you are in the same area with each other, and there's not many other races in that area, what is that then? Hispanic on Hispanic crime. There's nobody else around you. We don't talk about white on white crime, but they have white on white crime. If you're in, for example, let's say North. What is North? Predominantly black. Can you go kill anybody else? Like, let's really think about that. Dealing with the proximity of where you live, a lot of times that's what happens. The crime that happens is against the other race. If you're the majority race, they of course is going to be like, oh, it's black on black crime. What happens in the areas where there's poor white people? That's white on white crime, but we don't talk about that.
Yeah.
So I just wanted to throw that out there too, because that was a great thing that you mentioned, Miles. There's white on white, black on black, Hispanic on Hispanic. It's all types of crime. It's not just black folk. And don't bring up black matters saying that you support and then bring that topic up. That's not true support there.
Black on black crime is only ever brought up to fit a narrative, right? You have an idea in your head of what black people are, right? You want to really touch on the brutality of black people, so you bring that up as if all humans aren't brutal, as if white people aren't brutal, right? I mean, I think slavery is pretty brutal, guys. There's an ugly history there. We don't got to go into that. The point is, to Miles' point, I've gotten that argument from black people before. We're just like, yo, well, we got to handle black on black crime. It's so stupid. It's just drilled into our heads to focus on the brutality of what happens in our communities, as if those things aren't that way for a reason, right? As if they act as if black people are more susceptible to causing crimes and committing crimes, and that's so untrue. And we all know that obviously is stupid, but it's just to fit a narrative. But the idea, the main point again about the N-word, and because we say it, you know, people feel like they have a pass to say it or that they can say it too. My thing is, even if we never repurpose the word, I tell people this all the time, and you can't prove it, but I just based on the way the history of America has gone, you guys might agree with me. I don't know. I think that if we never repurpose that word, white people would still say the N-word. They'd still say it. Nothing would have changed. You know what I mean?
I think all races would have still used it.
Yeah, people would use that word.
This is the blessing and the curse of hip hop. Now it's just repurposed, and it's like it's okay because of that different meaning. And a lot of times, other people that use it aren't using it in that meaning of term of endearment. But because of hip hop, they think it's okay. They think that's their past. They think, oh, I'm supporting the culture. And when it come on, that's why I keep it a stack with my employees. I'm like, I know y'all say it when y'all get home. I know y'all do.
It wouldn't be you who are making people uncomfortable.
Like Greg, Chris, I respect it. He was like, yo, around certain, groups of people, I won't say it. Nah, I'm going to say it around you. If I choose to say it, I'm going to say it around you because I know you say it at home. You be uncomfortable. I'm not going to be uncomfortable. You be uncomfortable. I know you say it at home. I know when that song come on, you and mama, yeah. What'd you say at that part? Come on.
It's true. It's true. I just don't think that's the only reason. That's the only reason why they say it. I think there's more to it than just that, and people don't want to admit it.
Of course,
you know what I'm saying? It's deeper than that.
We wouldn't have enough time to go into that. We just know that hip hop.
Yeah, this conversation can take an entire turn. It really could. If we want to talk about that, it's a much deeper conversation than just, oh yeah, well, I say it because of this, or I say it but during this time, and white people say it too, so I don't want to say it. If you want to take it there, we can take it there, but it is an entire podcast. And so I just don't think it's that simple. I feel like if we didn't say it, it'd still be getting said. It'd still be getting said. And I don't think hip hop is the sole reason why it's being said as much as it is. Is it a big reason? Absolutely. But I don't think it's the sole reason. I think we'd still be dealing with the same, In
regards to the word at this point, it's like opening Pandora's box. You can't close it now. It is what it is. Just wanted to have this discussion to see where everybody's headed at and what we can do concerning the word. Like I said, the thing is, there's not many things that as a community, as a culture, that we could come upon and agree on things. And this is one of those things that we can't agree upon, unfortunately. And we don't see that sometimes with other cultures. Other cultures are very united on certain topics and certain things. It's two different spectrums on this. So
yeah,
we'll see where this goes. Like I said, this could be a whole long debate, whole long conversation that can turn multiple ways. Like we already started talking about black on black crime, and like this can go so many different ways. And we could have a whole episode on it. Y'all comment on this when y'all see this. Let us know. We could do a whole episode just on that, breaking down black on black crime history, the Nword. We could turn it into a CNN episode real quick. Don Lemon in the building, you heard? So we could do it like that for an episode if y'all really want that. But you know, our foundation is sports. So we gonna give y'all this sports talk. It's playoff time, baby. The playoffs are here. We had a crazy weekend. Something that Chris mentioned, you know, when you're in certain rooms, you don't use it. Yo, you got to read the room. And that is such an undervalued quality of the ability to read the room. Obviously, the Chargers did not read the room. This is why we have the Steelers that are in the playoffs. We're going to go by these wild card matchups. Starting off the AFC, you got Kansas City, Pittsburgh. I think it's safe to say everybody here choosing Kansas City.
Yes.
I'll choose them. It's a shame we have to watch Pittsburgh in the playoffs, but I'm happy. I'm happy for, you know, people. I got some people close to me that root for the Steelers. I'm happy for them.
Listen. He's saying that knowing Ariana not in the room. If she was in the room, she'd smack him upside his head.
I've told that to her face. First of all, I told her, and then nobody want to watch Big Ben crusty behind. Crusty behind. I no one wants to watch Big Ben play in the playoffs. No one wants to watch that. I had a chance to see Justin Herbert play. You know how good he is. By the way, since we're on the topic, it's no way in hell that Joe Burrow is better than Justin Herbert. I'm just gonna say that to you right now. I'm just gonna say it. I'm just gonna say it right here. There's no way in hell. It's not true. So you just accept it. You have a great quarterback on your hand. That's great. You guys have good. That's great. It's great.
I'm not getting into that tonight. You're not about to.
There's nothing to get into. There's nothing to get into. There's not a discussion to be had. Justin Herbert is literally
respectfully. I respect.
All those fourth down throws.
I respect.
In high pressure moments.
He was amazing. He was amazing on fourth down. But the Raiders defense also was trash.
Oh boy. We'll see how trash they are when they play y'all. Just keep that.
We already beat them this year.
All right, let's see. We're gonna talk about your game. I ain't here to talk about the Bengals.
Matter of fact, let's talk about them in Vegas. Go ahead, though.
Yeah, let's talk about it. Bengals Raiders.
Bengals Raiders.
Who y'all got?
Okay. So, Chris, I'm assuming he has the Bengals in this game.
I hope so.
Always my time.
This could be here's my thought on this game. And you tell me y'all tell me I'm gonna open the floor. I think that not drafting Penei Sewell, it's so poetic. It's gonna come back to bite you in this game. That pass rush was getting after Justin Herbert, and they have Rashawn Slater on that O-line, bro. And they was getting through there. They was making noise. Max Crosby, Yannick Ngakoue, they was getting through there, getting all types of pressures, making this like difficult. And that's ultimately why they lost the game, honestly. Yes, I know, you know, the timeout. We could talk about the controversial call. If he didn't call timeout, it'd be a tie. It probably would have been a tie. But they ultimately won that game in the trenches. That's where they won the game. They ran the ball better than them, and they got more pressure on the quarterback. That's where they won the game. Yo, playoff football different. That's what matters. So not taking your tackle of the future could come back to bite you in this game. It really could. With those two guys,
it definitely could. But what's also a fact that you're not considering is that the Bengals had the same team that they played against earlier in the season and had a good game plan, and they held Max Crosby into they stuck to the game plan. Yes, Max Crosby's great. We saw what he can do. But again, like you're talking about a team that's already went up against this team, already had a game plan for him, and they're great on the outside, but Joe Mixon has also torched them game after game that he's played the Raiders, because what the Raiders do, this is what they do. They send their DNs on the outside, play after play. They don't care. As long as they get upfield pressure, that's what the Raiders care about. Their interior, their defensive tackles, they're a problem. And that's why Joe Mixon always torches them. In our pass game, their corners can't cover us. Listen, I'm not even going to talk anymore because you're going to see on Saturday. And when you see on Saturday, we're going to take this clip and we're going to put it with the clip that I put last week, right? And we're going to put it with the big score right next to the game. And
what you're telling me is that the Raiders can't adjust, is what you're saying, though. You're making
they haven't adjusted all year.
They can't adjust, and also that they're not playing their best football towards the end of the year. Teams play their best football this time of year, and they're playing their best ball. You're gonna get the best version of the Raiders coming into Cincinnati.
And you don't think you're gonna get the best version of the Bengals?
You're gonna come into the jungle. Y'all getting their best version coming in.
Yo,
so I just want you to take that into account. Yo, you puffing your chest right now, real crazy. I just want you to remember what I'm telling you. It might come back to bite you that you didn't draft that dude, Sewell. In this game, when Yannick Ngakoue is running right past your left tackle, who's your left tackle? What's his name?
Listen, we have so many different rotations right now. Don't even worry about who we're playing. Don't even worry about it. The Bengals are fine. I'm not entertaining you. The Bengals are fine. We beat this team.
We're having a serious conversation over here about the X's and O's and why this game is going to be a tighter game than people might think. I know that Cincinnati's favored, and they should be. Fine, they're home. They've been great offensively all year. But I'm just saying, Rex games, pass rushes. And listen, I got what Shaq said. Shaq could be saying I got G1 classification. I got G1 classification to talk about this because I'm a Giants fan. I've been ruining. I know what it looks like to ruin a game plan, to ruin of the lives of the opponent with a great pass rush. I know that
the person that we need to be concerned about is Riley Reef. He is the only one that played bad in the last matchup against.
He's the former Viking. That's the left. Is he your left tackle?
The former Viking. Former Viking.
Yeah, I might be.
Hey, Miles, who you got winning this game?
It's tough, yo. Derek Carr's playing.
He got the Bengals. Stop playing.
It is not that easy, bro. It's not that easy.
Playing some great football. They're getting healthy again. Darren Waller's back. That adds a new dimension.
It doesn't because Darren Waller played the first matchup.
Yeah, but he's rejuvenated. He's had a cleanse. He's cleansed his body of all those, all that bad energy from.
Hold up, I'm gonna pull up the score. The first.
No, it was 32-13. We get it. Y'all won.
I beat him up.
I like how you already had that.
Y'all won, but it's tough to beat a team twice, and this is a playoff.
Isn't that what Greg said earlier in the year about the Steelers? And I don't want to hear how bad they are. I don't want to hear none of that. That's what Greg said earlier in the year about the Steelers. That's what he said about the Ravens. What did we do? We beat both of them twice. Stop.
Are you really gonna count the Ravens? Are you really sitting here bragging about beating the Ravens with nobody on the field?
First of all,
what you're doing, bro?
The first matchup when we played the
second
Ravens,
time, the point is beating a team twice. Beating a good team twice is very hard. Alabama just figured that out when they lost to Georgia the second time, right? When you play a team twice, a good team twice, it's very difficult to beat them.
Don't compare. Don't.
It's hard. That's a rule in sports. It's a rule in sports. It is hard to beat, and that's a rule in matchups and within sports, within the team dynamic. It's hard. If I face someone who's really good defensively, they might get me the next time I come down the floor and I go down against them.
And
it's the same logic.
That is fair.
No different. Y'all beat all their third stringers. You over here bragging about beating the Ravens. You kidding me?
Because we beat them with their first stringers and we blew them out. We didn't just beat them. We didn't scrape out a 21-17 win. No, we smoked them. 41-17, I believe.
Hold on.
I'm gonna need you.
How much playoff experience do these players on the Bengals have?
Oh, that's a great question.
Not a lot, but they got a lot of championship experience in college football. I'll tell you that.
Oh, we compare college football to the NFL. That's what we doing.
I'm talking about the Bengals.
That's fact. You got.
That's what we doing. That's crazy.
That is different.
It's the big boy league. It's different, bro. It's different.
No. So complete sidebar with. We talked about the Bengals and their success, and the Raiders might be able to beat them. For the Raiders, right? Do you think Coach Rich Bisaccia has coached him way in to not being interim, but the head coach? Yeah. Think about this. They gave John Gruden to be the highest paid coach. You lose him, you lose all these players, and he still gets them to the playoffs as an interim. That says a lot, one, about ownership and the GM, who you just lost your $10 million a year coach and they still make the playoffs. I think he deserves to get that head coaching job because the person that was paid to get them there and was not doing the best of the job, the interim got him in there. He gotta be the head coach next year, at least for 1 year.
He absolutely should. He absolutely should. I think Miles was going to say the same thing, right?
Yeah.
He absolutely should. I just think that with the way these guys are getting fired right now, there's a little bug going around. They got the fire cron going around the NFL right now. So I don't know if he's going to be able to survive this, but he's doing a great job. Yes, he should keep. We all expect him to keep his job. He's doing great. The players responded to him. They're playing their best football, and if he gets a playoff win at Chris's expense on Saturday, oh boy, his job locked. Hey, re him up for the next 5 years if he gets a playoff win. That's crazy.
As he should, though. As he should. If he gets a playoff win as an interim head coach against a great Bengals team this year, how's it going to look firing him?
It doesn't look good firing him whether he goes out there and gets beat 40-0. He got into the playoffs. He did his job. He did a great job, regardless of what happens. But those guys play hard for him. They're gonna go out there. They're gonna give the Bengals a good old game in the Safari, right? That's what y'all call it.
I think I don't think it's gonna be a blow. I think it's gonna be close. That's not y'all mistaking what I'm saying and saying that I think it's gonna be a blow.
Yeah, why are you so disrespectful? You know it's called the jungle. He called it the Safari.
He overusing the term now.
Yeah.
Sugar said they're gonna pull up the Six Flags for the Safari.
They're going to pick a cop.
Speaking of beating a team twice, Buffalo New England matchup in Buffalo. Probably gonna be cold. I know we supposed to be getting snow this weekend. They might get snow over there too, which Bill is built for. How y'all see this one going out?
It's tough. Because it's tough to go against playoff Bill Belichick. Like, he's got a game plan. He saw firsthand the first game. I mean, he probably knew that wasn't going to work again. And then, that second game didn't go as planned, but it was a lot closer than you like the scoreboard showed. So I think I'm taking the Patriots just based off of the fact that they got a better coach, they got a better defense, and I think they're going to go back to that game plan from the first game where they run it. They're going to run it, keep Josh Allen off the field. That's the best way to beat these high-powered offenses, to keep, time of possession on your side and, run it a little bit more.
Basically, we're not watching that one.
Well, let's just also Miles broke it down to a science. That was beautifully done. I couldn't have done any better myself. What I would also say is I'm going to take Bill. I trust Bill. Mm-hmm. I can't bet against Bill. It's hard to bet against him. But you know who it's easy to get a bet against? Josh Allen. Playoff Josh Allen? High leverage Josh Allen? I'm not betting on high leverage moment Josh Allen. You guys are crazy. Nah, man, give me the Patriots, bro. They're gonna run the ball. They're gonna win the game in the trenches. It's cold.
What's your score prediction?
Low scoring. Those just the way the Patriots would like it. I think they'll win the game like 20-13, 20-14, and that's high scoring for them. This matchup. It's gonna be cold. I don't think they'll have a hard. I don't think they're gonna have a hard time throwing the ball to the Bills this time. So I think it'll be a little bit different. They're gonna score more points. It'll be a closer game because there's not. I don't know what the win factor is. I'm not sure there's a lot of wind. I just know it's very cold. That's
what the problem was. The last game was wind. The wind was insane, and you couldn't throw the ball.
Yeah, you literally could not. The ball was you couldn't kick field goals. I think this game will be different, but it not so much that it's still the main thing is the main thing. They're gonna win this game in the trenches. If they're gonna win the game. They're gonna win in the trenches. They got a better O-line. They got a better D-line. They got a better secondary. This is a game that if Mac Jones doesn't screw it up, and if Bill doesn't allow him to screw it up, then this is a game they should win. So I'll take the Pats, but I understand that I could end up with egg on my face because the Bills could win the game, but I don't trust Josh in the playoffs against elaborate defenses. He got actually like read defenses. Good luck.
They playing on Saturday, right? Or they play Sunday.
Is it Saturday night? I think it was right. They're after your they go to the Safari game.
Greg, let me ask you this: If Josh Allen comes out and balls out against that elaborate defense, does he earn your respect?
Yeah, I respect him. I respect Josh Allen.
The way you be talking about him on this show.
You heard the pitch in his voice get a little high.
I respect him.
No, I respect Josh Allen. He has a crazy arm. He's talented. That coaching staff's done a great job of masking his deficiencies, and he's played really well. They've gotten the best out of him. They did a great job. That's really what it is. He has deficiencies. He is not perfect. When you force him to make tight window throws against man-to-man coverage, he struggles, man. Like, remember, Stephon Diggs, the reason why they got him because they can't cover him in man. That's why he creates so much separation in one-on-one situations. It's perfect for a guy like Josh Allen who doesn't make the craziest finesse throws. He's not Tom Brady. He can throw the ball through a brick wall is what he can do. All right, like so. Yeah, I mean, and what he's the running back too, right? He's the best runner. They don't even run the ball that well. Josh Allen's like they haven't even constructed this team well enough this year for me to take him seriously. I mean, seriously, are we taking the Bills that seriously? Can they win a Super Bowl this year? I don't think so. Not the way they've built this thing around him. He's like he's the white Cam Newton, like Miles said. So, and he's not Cam running the ball.
Yeah, he's not Cam.
He's not that dude. So, I have a hard time. I respect him. If he wins this game, yes, my respect for him will grow. The short answer to your question.
And if they're playing Saturday, it's supposed to be as of right now 11 degrees. So this seems right up Bill's alley.
Yeah.
To figure out. Yeah, I remember when he beat them. He said, we built for this weather. We always do game plans for the weather. And that was the most animated we've seen Bill in a while.
Yeah.
Bill is built for this 11 degrees. He gonna have just a hoodie on, a short cut hoodie. He gonna put on that jacket and he gonna have a pencil and ready with the game plan.
Bro, he was
game plan.
After
they lost, switch it up. They're gonna switch it up. Halftime, he might come out with a different whole different game plan. So I don't think it's too tough to bet against Bill. As we just mentioned, playoffs is a whole new season. In the AFC, do y'all want to change our picks of who's going to represent the AFC?
I don't remember who I chose. Who did I choose in the AFC? Did I choose the Chiefs?
The Titans?
I think Chiefs, man. I'm taking Chiefs.
For me, all started this year. But when we started this year, I think we chose. I think I chose the Chiefs. I think I chose the Packers in the NFC. I think that's what I ended up doing. I didn't even. So yeah, I don't think I'll change that. I think the Chiefs are going to get out. The AFC is a wild card. It's weird though. It is weird because that division is so much more of a toss up. That conference is so much more of a toss up than the NFC is. The NFC is insanely talented, but I think when you have to go to Lambeau, it makes things difficult. And I don't think that terrific Tom is getting out. So that should be fun. But I don't know. The AFC is more of a toss up. I think they'll take the Chiefs though. I don't think I'll change my mind.
Talk about who? The Eagles?
Yeah, they shouldn't struggle too much with that game, but you don't know, bro. That's a weird game.
The Eagles do a good job running the ball, so maybe they got the same type of formula, and they got a more explosive quarterback than the Patriots, but maybe they could take that same type of formula of let's run the ball as much as possible and keep Tom on the bench and see what comes of it. But Tampa Bay, Philly, I'm going with Tampa. I think I got Tampa winning that one.
Yeah, I'll take Tampa too. I mean, just conventionally, it makes sense. If Jalen can make a couple big throws, they'll make it interesting because they are going to run the ball well, and their corners suck in Tampa. We know that, and they're banged up offensively. I still think they're going to put points on the board, but the Eagles can annoy them. They can make it in. I think it'll be a close game going into the fourth quarter, and you'll have someone like me on the edge of my seat because I live to see Tom Brady fail. I live to see him fail. So I hope that somehow they pull it out. And this is bad. I'm rooting for the Eagles. You know how bad it is.
Yeah.
But you know how much I don't like Tom. But I think they'll pull it out. The Bucs will pull it out.
I think the most interesting matchup probably in this first round wild card of playoffs is this Rams Cardinals matchup. Division, Rams, Cardinals both have Super Bowl aspirations, but they start off the playoffs playing against each other. How y'all see this one panning out, especially with y'all boy Stafford looking like he's back in Detroit?
He just has to get out of his own way. That's what it comes down to in this game. And I think Greg has touched on it in past episodes is that, they need to put him in situations where, they're not relying on him to make those big throws towards the end of the game. And you do that by running the ball throughout the game. You got Cam Akers back. And then they still have Sony Michel, who's been playing well. But listen, as long as he's not turning the ball over and he's getting the ball out of his hands and making smart throws, they have the roster to go ahead and win it all.
I mean, as long as they keep Kyler Murray contained, this shouldn't be that hard of a game to pick.
He talking spicy, Miles. You're talking real crazy right now.
Why they lost DeAndre Hopkins? They've been struggling to figure out who to throw it to of late.
Well, who do you trust more, Kyler Murray or Matthew Stafford? I think that's if you want to talk about this game. Let's talk about that. Let's talk about it that way. Because because honestly, I think these two teams are very good teams. They're both very good teams. I think the Rams run the ball better, which ultimately would lead to them winning a football game like this. They run the ball better so they can keep Kyler Murray on the sideline. That's where the strength of that football team really is, even though they like to throw the ball more because they're getting sexy on us now because they got Matt Stafford, so they got to use his new toy. But if they run the ball, they should be fine, like Christian said. It's true. I do trust Kyler Murray right now more. If it's a shootout, if this game gets that finesse feel to it, right? They have to muck the game up. The Rams have to muck the game up. But if it gets some finesse feel to it, I trust Kyler Murray more drop back and throwing the ball. I'll tell you that.
Yeah, but I trust the Rams DBs more than the Cardinals defense, right? And I feel like if it goes to a shootout, Jalen Ramsey, someone in that secondary, Weddle, he's coming back, right? Someone in that secondary is going to make.
Weddle been on this couch all year. What are we talking about Weddle for? I don't even understand why you posted that on the page like it was a big deal. Weddle been at the crib.
They gonna slowly incorporate him. He's not gonna be a star, but Von Miller's gonna come up with a big sack. That's what it's gonna come down to.
Yeah, I agree. That sounds good in theory, but I just feel like, let's say we get into a shootout. The thing is Matthew Stafford. He has made some defensive backs look greater than they are because he likes to play sometimes for the other team. So, yes, I take the Rams D-backs every single day of the week. But as you already alluded to, Matthew Stafford can't get out of his own way. Matthew Stafford has COVID right in front of his face, and he'll just walk right into it. That's what he's doing, throwing these interceptions. He's literally trying to – I don't know. We might have to check out a 30 for 30 after the season is done. Like, was my man betting on the games? Was he trying to keep the spread low? Because I don't know how they keep getting pick sixes and the pass to Odell. That was severely underthrown.
And they're bad interceptions. It ain't like he just missing. They're off target completely.
No, hey Greg, I see what he's doing. He's in LA. He's trying to be like Russ, man. Turnovers. He's trying to be like Russ.
There's a turnover pandemic going on in LA right now. That's what it is. I blame Russ. He's the originator. Russ is the COVID in this situation. But
this variant is spreading crazy in LA.
The Russell variant, the Westbrook variant, the Westbrook variant spreading all throughout LA. Hey, I stand. Look, the Stafford criticism is fair. He is. By as far as I'm concerned, I overrated him. I sung his praises going into this year, and he's done nothing but make me. I mean, he's thrown 41 touchdowns, great, but like the interceptions are crazy. They're crazy. They're unacceptable, yo. Like they're really bad. So I don't know what to expect in this game. I'm nervous picking the Rams, but I think if they run the ball, they should be fine. Just don't try to get too pretty. That was my advice to Sean McVay. If I was in that room with that dude, if I was in those meeting rooms, I'd tell him don't try to get too pretty. Stafford shouldn't throw the ball more than 25 times. Let's get a dub. That's it. Hand the ball off, play action off of that, easy reads, easy throws, take advantage of them, keep Kyler Murray on the sideline. If you don't do that, that game can get wacky real quick. And that's a game Kyler Murray can win if you want to start having a little shootout. So we'll see, but I'll pick the Rams.
And America's team, Dallas Cowboys, San Francisco 49ers. How do you see this one panning out? Y'all know where I stand. I feel like Dak is going to lay an egg. Zeke isn't going to – Zeke going to look like Zeke, like he's been looking this season. Zeke's going to look the same way. Coop's going to drop a pass here or there. CeeDee Lamb's going to drop a pass. It might be a close game. And watch, Jimmy Garoppolo throws a game-winning touchdown on Trayvon Diggs because he bit on the pump fake. There go to
Dallas.
Cowboys will find a way to lose the game.
What?
The Cowboys are going to find a way to lose this game. Go ahead, though. I'd like to hear your X's and O breakdown. I don't think it's necessary because the Cowboys, and this is just the way it works.
I'm not about to give an X's and O breakdown because I can care less about the Cowboys. I'm just saying the past two games, the Cowboys, did they lose last week or they won?
They won.
They put up 50 the past 2 weeks.
Yeah, that's the Dak 5 touchdown game.
Yeah, I Jimmy Garoppolo and George Kittle, no matter what team they're playing, that's scary. And I don't think if George Kittle comes out and is a beast, the Dallas isn't gonna have an answer for that.
And Debo's
crazy.
Yeah,
You
Debo's
gotta
a different breed.
Hey, the stat of the day for the Cowboys is they have not beaten a playoff team all year. A team they're 0-2 against playoff teams. They've taken advantage of a soft schedule. They have, and they beat up on the sorry behind NFC East. Yes, my team included. That's all they've done all year. Okay, so before we start coordinating them, they're so good. I hear the analysts on ESPN. Yo, these analysts on ESPN get people in trouble, bro. Yo, we're gonna make you sell your house. Your wife's gonna leave you. This is stupid because they be talking about, oh yeah, they're so complete. I'm taking the Cowboys and they've been struggling all year, but I'm gonna take them because they're so good on paper and we've seen them at their best. No. Dak had a 500-yard game against a secondary with guys off the street. I was playing for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers in game 1, and everybody bit into the hype. And so here we are now. Everyone wants to get on the hype train for the Cowboys. Don't do it. Don't fall for it. The 49ers are a physical team. They're a very good team. They're a dark horse team that could get out the NFC. That's how good that team is, for real. So, and they're well coached. The coaching advantage, oh my goodness, is way more. It's in their advantage. Okay, McCarthy don't know what he's doing with these timeouts. He's gonna burn them somehow. He already burned them against the Cardinals by misusing a timeout. He couldn't challenge a play down the stretch. Listen, bro, I'm giving y'all a million tangible reasons. We got a lot of Cowboys fans, and listen, I told you already, they're popcorn chicken good. That's what they are. You hit that first bite, popcorn chicken is good. You get to the second one, it's like, it's not even that good anymore, bro. These ain't Chick-fil-A nuggets. These are popcorn Tyson nuggets. You throwing under the oven. That's all this is. So don't fall for the hype, bro. I'm off that. The 49ers by 2 scores.
Yo, the other thing you mentioned, Chick-fil-A. Don't drink their lemonade, bro. I saw something that came out that said it's like 50% tap water, like sugar. And
oh, for real? Oh, that's crazy. I be getting that mix, that iced tea, that sweet tea and lemonade mix.
I was doing it too, but I see why they were saying my pleasure. They was giving me tap water. My pleasure.
I go with the Sprite. You ain't gotta lose my business. We go with the Sprite. Maybe the milkshake. I'm trying to stay off that dairy though.
Good idea. So Green Bay, they the number 1 seed. I want to ask y'all this. Last time Green Bay had home field advantage, they didn't win. When they were away, that Super Bowl run, where they got the Super Bowl, those were all road games. Do y'all think Green Bay is actually able to get over the hump this year? And we mentioned, everybody going to Lambeau Field. I don't think Lambeau helps them out either. I don't think it's really a home field for them just off the weather aspect. You throwing rocks around because of how cold it is.
Well, the Packers always play well in that weather. I mean, Aaron Rodgers has no problem throwing the ball when it's windy out. No.
When they was home so far in Aaron Rodgers' tenure, if they're home, they haven't won it. They haven't made it to the championship having home field.
Having home, I see what you're saying. I mean, I guess it depends. It depends on the matchup. Like I said, if the 49ers roll into town, they're so physical and they run the ball so well, they have a chance. But it just depends. I think if the Tampa Bay Buccaneers roll into town, you got a chance to beat them this year. And I know they lost last year. I get it. They lost at home last year to Tampa Bay, which that game pissed me off in so many ways. But I do think they'll pull it off this year. I'm banking on the greatness of Aaron Rodgers. That's what I'm doing. And don't forget, a lot of teams are dealing with injuries during this time of year, and they're healthy. They're whole. They've got a lot. They got a lot of their pieces are there. Devontae is good. He's healthy. Scott Scantling, all those dudes are good, right? So I'll take my chances there. They got Jones in the backfield. They look good. They look good from a health perspective. So I'm gonna take
AJ Dillon in the backfield as well too. And he's been
got Dillon too. Yeah, that guy. He running dudes over.
Yeah, he's been playing great.
Yeah, he's like diet Saquon. Although these days he might be the original Saquon. I don't know. I don't know what Saquon that. But regardless. I like them to get out of the NFC. I'll take my chances there. I know your point, Tone. They are weird though.
Before we transition and we got to talk about these Chargers. Do y'all think Brandon Staley should be on the hot seat going into next season? This is Brandon Staley's the guy that you play Madden with that goes on 4th down every single time. I don't think you can overlook being on the 18-yard line, 4th and 1, and he went for it. They was only down by 3. That was the time you're supposed to punt him. I get it, be aggressive, but this is the guy on Madden that literally goes 4th down, he does not punt. Do you think going into next season he should be on the hot seat?
I don't necessarily think he should be on the hot seat, but I do think that he needs to change his ways and pretty damn quick. Just because when you do that on your own 18, there's a sense of cockiness behind that, right? And especially if you do it consistently on fourth down, you just go for it. You go for it. 4th and 1 is not the same as 4th and 3. All fourth downs aren't the same. And what he does is he treats all fourth downs like they're the same. And that's a bad habit. And I'm not sure if he's doing it to try to prove that he's a good coach. Obviously being a rookie coach in his first year. But he's going to learn quick that, and obviously this season has already shown that you can't do that. And hopefully someone in his corner, humbles him real quick and gives him that type of feedback that this is not something that we can do, or else your career is going to be over before it even started.
I mean, I feel like he puts a lot of trust in Herbert. That's the other thing too. Like, as we've seen, Herbert has shown out in games. He's had bad games this year, but this last game, I wouldn't put that loss on him. It comes down to, that botched timeout at the end that really did them in. So
we also,
from that perspective, it's a learning experience for him. This is his first year as a head coach. So
yes, that's what it is.
take the good with the bad.
Hey,
there's something important here, though. There's something really important here. You guys are
I think I know where you're going to. Go ahead.
So he went for it in the opponent's territory. It was like a 4th and 3 or something. I don't know what it was. It was 4th and short, 4th and medium. They could have hit the field goal. They lost by 3. They could have hit the field goal. He went for it. And so those decisions right there push you on the hot seat. In high level situations, those decisions right there that cost you games, that'll put you on the hot seat. I think he should keep his job, but I do think that, one more year of mistakes like that, you're not going to survive. No one survives it. No one survives it, bro. So yeah, it's he's got a Madden way of kind of dealing with this thing. I know he's a cancer survivor. There's something to that. The way he takes chances is something to that. Like there's something to that mentality, the way he lives his life. He's fearless, right? I mean, he's been through everything, like, surviving cancer, but and God bless him, but you can't coach football that way. You got to be a little conventional. There's a reason why people did things the way they did before. Like, you're not gonna outthink Bill Parcells and all these old dudes who've been doing this forever. Football's a simple game. He's outthinking himself a little bit too much. So he could be on the hot seat. He could be. I would not be surprised at all if by this time next year we're talking about him getting fired.
Yeah, and Miles brought up a good point about him putting a lot of faith in Herbert, and as you should, right? Herbert, a star, or going to be an elite star in this league at the quarterback position. But on that 4th and 1 at your own 18, he didn't even throw it. He handed it off to Austin Eckler, didn't he?
Is that what happened?
So like it's those type of situations. Like, sure, maybe if you want to utilize Herbert and get the ball out of his hands quickly, or have him utilize his legs, that's a different story, because maybe Herbert can get that. Herbert's 6'4", 6'5". He can easily jump over the pile and reach for the first down. We're having a different conversation if that's the play call. But I think on 4th and 1 in your own 18, for you to hand it off to Austin Eckler, who's also a good running back, but bad call.
Or you could just hate the field goal. You could just kick the field goal. You could just do that, and you might have ended with the tie anyways. Like, you just don't know how the game goes. Those kind of things lose you games, man. This ain't Madden. I used to hate playing with people who would never punt the ball in obvious punting situations. I'm like, be realistic, bro. You're not about to go for it. You're not about to go for this 4th and 18 in your own territory. Well,
4th and 24, and they're going for it.
Yeah, give me that, So it's messy. I don't know, bro. It's tough. Like I said, I would not be surprised next year if he is a victim of fire crime. When it makes his return.
You spoke fire crime. You spoke it up. Which position do you think is the best job opening in the NFL? The Texans got rid of their coach after one season. Dolphins got rid of Flores. The Bears, Nagy's gone. Vikings, they got rid of Zimmer and the GM. Broncos, got him out of here. The Jags, we already know Urban Meyer is somewhere counting his bread. And then, of course, Christmas came early, like it was January. December was just here, but the Giants woke up and fired Joe Judge. So, which of these positions is the best job opening in the NFL right now?
I reserve the right to go last on this.
You want to say the Giants?
I'll do you the honors.
I reserve the right to go last, man. You're trying to ruin it. Just go. Give your thoughts. My answer might surprise you, but go ahead.
I feel like it's got to be between the Broncos or the Vikings, honestly, because those both. One, the Vikings have pieces already in place, so they can continue with Kirk Cousins. They can look at other options because, I mean, you never know. There's going to be QBs on the market this offseason. So you could have a quick turnaround for that team. Mike Zimmer was on the hot seat for the last 3 years, it felt like. So it's hard to, make decisions when you're kind of coaching with, a gun to the back of your head.
Mm-hmm.
So I think, Dalvin Cook, Justin Jefferson, they still got Thielen. That defense is still, very good. So I think they can make a quick turnaround. And then maybe even the Broncos. That's a young, up-and-coming team. They're just missing a quarterback. You put a quarterback on that team, you already got a pretty good tight end. You got 3 good young receivers. The defense is, improving. So I don't know. I think those are the 2 best jobs out there. Unless you're, in New York. There's an opening there.
Go ahead.
CJ Bags.
You throwing him throwing shade.
I wasn't necessarily thinking the Broncos, but I would say the Giants and the Vikings. But I also have to say too, you can't sleep on being, having the opportunity to go out and coach Justin Fields and having the chance to build around him, right? And choose the pieces that you want to build around him to not only take that team to the next level. And then we know Justin Fields is the type of quarterback that can certainly do that. This year was supposed to be a year where he learned the system and, he got a lot of playing time to show what he can do for the future. And we've seen flashes of that, but we were robbed of being able to see his progression throughout the whole season because he didn't play early on when they went and played Andy Dalton more. But I think the New York Giants position is probably the most appealing on the market. 1, because of the market that it's in, right? You're in New York. 2, the New York Giants have an opportunity to win the NFC East, which has been a really poor division over the past few years. And that's not any slander to Greg or anything like that, but the competition just isn't like it is in the rest of the NFL. And, the Cowboys with their struggles, the New York Giants already have the pieces that they need in place in terms of the running back, the quarterback. The quarterback might be up for debate, but you got young wide receivers that you can work with, and you got a good secondary. Really, it's just fixing the offensive line and keeping players healthy. Kadarius Toney showed us what he could do this year. Obviously, Saquon Barkley looked good at times, but still had a few injuries and got banged up. And I think the real question is just the quarterback. But with the New York Giants, I think that's got to be an appealing position for any coach on the market right now, just due to the fact that you're coming into a team that already has playmakers there. And the fact that you have some picks as well that you've acquired from other teams over the years, you can use those picks to continue to get better and run the NFC East for a long time.
So before Greg goes,
I was very diplomatic of him. Go ahead.
Giants and the Dolphins, right?
Mm-hmm.
The only thing with these 2 teams that I like to point out, the regime that makes decisions is still there. So I don't think we see much of a change when it's the same people that's been making these bad decisions are still there. Dolphins, their GM has been with the organization since 2000. It's 2022. He's been there for 22 years. Nothing's changing there. They chose the GM, the relationship with the GM and the owner, and the relationship with Tua over Brian Flores, who has won 16 games over the last 2 seasons, 19 games over the last 2 seasons. He has basically made the Dolphins a respectable team. He is 4-2 against Bill Belichick. 4-2 against Bill Belichick as the Dolphins. I'll repeat that, 4-2 against Bill Belichick, who runs that whole division. Not many coaches get a winning record against Bill Belichick. And they chose, supposedly, of course, which I think it's a little bit of a smear campaign. Now that he's fired, let's say, it was all these things that we didn't like. Nothing was said before this. And then what it sounds like it boiled down to is about the whole situation with Tua. And I don't blame him. I do not blame him. If he was mad and going off on Tua every day, good, because they should have drafted Herbert. We saw what Herbert did, and we see what Tua is. Like, you mentioned Tua over Daniel Jones, and fine, cool. Y'all want to choose Tua over Daniel Jones. But when we talk about everywhere else, nah, Tua, that ain't it. And then the Giants. This family-ran organization, the Maras, for I don't know how long. They still there. And Greg, I don't know if you saw the exit interviews and whatnot with Mara getting up there and telling the media, yo, y'all got one question limit. Y'all not saying nothing back after that. There's no real true conversation. All right, let's start. When you say stuff like that, ain't no change coming there. I feel they're a cocky organization, a cocky family, and I don't think real change is gonna come because they still there. They still running it. I'm getting real Dolan vibes from the Knicks. This is a upper management problem when it comes to the Giants. I don't think because they still there, they're not gonna make the right decision. They should have never brought Joe Judge in. So the person that decided to bring Joe Judge in is still there.
All fair points. All fair points. To answer your question about who the best job is at all these jobs, I'll start out there. I'm gonna say it's the Broncos because they have everything in place to be a Super Bowl team if they get a quarterback. Now, getting a quarterback is hard. It's hard as hell. So good luck with that. If you like Justin Fields, maybe you go with that job in Chicago, but Chicago doesn't really win anything. So you got that to contend with over there. So it's hard. But it's a trick question. If you're talking about the GM job, I actually think the Giants job is actually pretty appealing. Like just objectively, they have 2 top 10 picks. They have, I think, 6 picks in the first top 60 within the first top 60 picks in this draft. They have a bunch of draft capital to go out and completely change this team and change the direction of this team. You're not tied to Saquon Barkley. You're not tied to Daniel Jones. Those aren't your guys. You can do whatever you want. If you want to take Kenny Pickett this year, take Kenny Pickett. If you want to take your guy, you want to take a chance at go get Russell Wilson if he's available, go do it. Deshaun Watson, fine. Try your luck. You have the draft capital to go make that move, right? I know that the cap situation isn't great in New York. It's not great, but teams have overcome worse with cap situations. I'm not really worried about that. Okay, we're talking about a tradable contract. Okay, James Bradbury is a tradable contract. So I think it's a pretty appealing job actually for a GM. As a head coach, it's a little bit harder because the Giants aren't going to win for the next 2 years. That's just the reality of it. You're going to have to blow this thing down to the studs, especially if you don't like Daniel Jones. If you say, I don't want this guy, then fine. You're really going to have to struggle in the interim until you find your quarterback, which isn't easy to do. There's no easy solution there. But, I think it's a little bit overblown how we're talking about the Giants. In the sense that they have a chance here to kind of rebuild this in the way Chris has talked about with all these draft picks. You can replace your middle linebacker. You can replace your corners. You really can. It's not easy. It takes time, but you can do that. Again, no Giants fan should expect to win in the interim, but I do think they're taking a step in the right direction. And to your point about Mara, you're absolutely right. You do get some Dolan vibes, but I will say this. Miles can speak to this. If Mara is your Dolan, I think you take Mara, right? Because I've seen 2 championships in my lifetime, haven't I? He was here when everything was going right. So why can't he be here when things turn around? He could be. There's definitely an arrogance there, but I expect that from any billionaire. I just do. I really do. I think all these guys are pretty arrogant. I think that he has to get the right guy here to make decisions. And I think I'm encouraged by the list of candidates that they've interviewed so far. That's what encourages me. You're getting guys from outside the organization. Do y'all know the Giants have never gone outside of their organization ever before to get a coach? It's always in-house. It's always within the family. It's Bill Parcells. He was on our bench. It's Bill Belichick. You know why Joe just got the job? Because Bill Belichick told him to give him the job. And Bill Belichick, they love him because he was coaching on the defensive sideline when we had Lawrence Taylor back in the heyday, the glory days. Good franchises always go back into the history to make these kind of decisions. It can be a crutch sometimes. So it's a good thing that they've kind of cleaned up their act and they're going outside the organization, interviewing guys like Joe Shane and Horowitz from the Ravens. That excites me. Whenever you could bring a guy in from the Ravens, I'm excited. That's a great front office. So I like that. I see signs of change. I love that part. I think it's an appealing job from a GM perspective, but as a head coach, it's tough to coach in New York, as Joe Judge found out. And when you sneak it on 3rd and 9, you don't deserve to be here. Get the hell out of here. I don't want to see you again. Ever.
I hope so that there will be some change because You just alluded to it. John Mara and the Giants are stuck in how they won. They want to do it that way still.
Yeah.
So hopefully they make the right decision at GM, because I heard there's reports the GM is going to be able to choose a coach. So hopefully they get it right in that aspect and then go forward from there.
I have a prediction on who's going to get the job. I have a prediction. I think
Head
it's going
coach
to be
or GM?
Huh?
Head coach or GM?
Both. Because I think, like I said, the two things are married. Your GM's going to pay the coach. I think it's going to be Joe Shane, and it's going to be Brian Daboll, the offensive coordinator from the Bills, the guy who's made Josh Allen everybody's favorite quarterback. He's going to be that. So I think that's what we're going to end up happening here in New York. Offensive coach, nice change. That's my prediction. I could be wrong. I hope it's the guy from my guy Horace from the Ravens. Yes, neither one of these guys are black, by the way, which bums me out. I would love if it was a black guy.
They interviewed Flores though, didn't they? Or no?
What happened?
They interviewed Flores or no?
They there's Flores is linked to the Giants, but if I'm being honest with y'all, I'm gonna keep it 1,000. I don't know how much I want Flores.
Yeah, that's what I was telling my boy.
I don't know how much I want him. I have my reasons. I'd love to see a black coach be the guy here. I'd love that. It'd be great. But it's so much. I don't know. He's not gonna love that. You didn't love Tua. You're not gonna love Daniel Jones. So there's that. There's that. I don't know how much you're gonna love Daniel Jones, bro. Like, I'm serious. You can't be cursing him out. Like, you can't be getting tight. So I don't know. There's
He is not without his flaws, but what he did for the Dolphins in 2 years.
He did a great job.
The Dolphins should have kept him. Now, anywhere else, I don't know. And then in the Giants, before we transition to flag on the play. If I'm GM, if I'm head coach, you just mentioned it. We in rebuild. I need a clause in my contract. Do not fire me after 2 years.
You can't fire those guys 2 years.
I need that in my contract.
But you hire a serious guy. You don't hire a Joe Judge who goes out on TV every day and has an 11-minute rant for no reason. Do y'all remember that Sunday? Miles sending that in the chat? Like, it was a joke. We thought it was funny. It was a joke how he went in there. This is no clown show organization, blah, blah, blah. Yo, Joe, if you don't go kick rocks, and then you're going to do a QB sneak on the QB sneak. I was bamboozled. I was under stray. I was shocked. It was crazy. All these thoughts were running amok in my head when I saw that. I couldn't believe that an NFL team did that. Yo, they got in big formation and ran a sneak twice. Yo, you wouldn't do that, bruh. I've never seen that before. There are kids, there are children, there are stupid kids playing Madden right now who would never do something like that, ever, to create room for a punt. We suck. We've lost every game. There's no hope. And you're doing that? Damn, bro. He fired himself. I hope people have to know Joe Judge was not going to get fired. He was going to come back next year. The Giants didn't want to do this. He forced their hand. There was no choice.
Yeah. This is why I said the 2-year clause. This is the second coach in a row that y'all fired after 2 years. Y'all didn't want to do that.
Yeah, it was supposed to happen this way. This is an unforeseen circumstance. We couldn't have. No one could tell you that Joe Jones was an idiot. I didn't see it coming. Okay, so I think the Giants have a break here. People killing them about instability and firing coaches too soon. Give me a break, okay? You'd fire that guy too. If Zach Taylor went out there and had to do a QB stick in this playoff game, Chris, you'd blow your brains out. Okay, not literally, but you know what I mean. It's crazy.
You speaking facts, and we're going to transition to flag on the play. But this is essentially what the situation was. The Giants got married to Joe Judge.
Mm-hmm.
Everything was roses. Joe Judge was saying everything right. The interviews, it sounded good. It sounded like the Patriot way and the Bill Belichick way. And then 2 years in, just like you see with all these celebrities, this who you really are?
Mm-hmm.
I didn't really know you. Dang. Oh, no, this ain't going to work. And they got divorced. That's what it is.
They got divorced.
This is what it is. It was a marriage with a terrible foundation.
Giants are on eHarmony right now, looking for their next love. Hopefully it works out.
Flag on the play. Rap Caviar. Y'all know this is how we end the shows. Rap Caviar put out a poll. 2010's Mount Rushmore rappers. Drake, Kendrick, J. Cole. They put out for the 4th spot on Mount Rushmore, Nicki Minaj, Future, Kanye, Lil Wayne. Nicki Minaj was voted as the 4th person on the Mount Rushmore of 2010's rappers. Except for the
What? Hold up, she was voted
Rap
what?
Cowboy is a bunch of like white people sitting in like Spotify's basement. So that's pretty much that's what decided this, which means this is not very valid. But yeah, that's what if you're asking who, that's the who.
So, I was asking who would y'all put there? I wouldn't put Nicki as the fourth on my Mount Rushmore of 2010 rappers.
Nicki over Wayne? I'm just trying to think about Wayne's 2010 run. I think honestly, off the strength of his early 2010 run he had, I'd give it to
legend, bro.
Yeah, bro. I just don't. You can't. I can't give that over Lil Wayne. Do you have a problem with the order? Otherwise, is the question. Because them giving it to Nicki's laughable. Obviously, we're not taking that seriously. We're just not doing that. And Future doesn't get that spot. I think it's Lil Wayne. What Miles? Who you think?
What the fourth?
It's the fourth spot.
I mean, Lil Wayne did put out a lot of garbage in the 2010s.
He did though, and I know. I'm saying off the strength of like going from like 08 to 2012, he still had a strong hold in the game. He still was done. He's still on some stuff.
Yeah, but then you're talking about from 2012 to 2020.
I know it's a long time. That's a lot of bad stuff.
Putting out cartoon bars. So
yeah, he was.
Yeah.
Well, then who would you give to? You give it to Future over him? He not giving to Nicki. You give it to Nicki or Future?
You're not
giving it to Nicki.
Kanye in this at all?
Is Kanye in this discussion here? Did Kanye? Oh, he was in top 3. That's rightfully so.
It was Drake, Kendrick, J. Cole, right? So listen, the numbers on this. Nicki Minaj got 39% of the votes. Kanye got 33%. Future got 17%. Weezy got 9%.
Damn. Oh,
that's crazy.
Honestly, I would take Kanye.
Yeah, you gotta give it to Kanye.
Look at the 2010s. You got Yeezus out there. You got Life of Pablo, Watch the Throne. This is all the 2010s.
You know what's carrying him is Watch the Throne for me, because Yeezus was trash.
My Beautiful Dark Twisted Fantasy.
That's an amazing album.
Yeah, so he started off the 2010s, hitting on all cylinders.
He did. He has the case that I try to make a little win.
He ain't hitting on all cylinders right now.
No, he not.
Hey,
Kim hanging out with the dude that work at Kmart.
That's so crazy to me.
Hey, if you're funny,
she wanted the simple things, right?
If you're funny,
she said she wanted to do
last ball flag on the play. Kyrie, before it came out, Kyrie, Kai, however you see him as, will be able to play home games if the Nets are willing to pay a fine, accept or decline.
Accept. I mean, that's the easiest thing. That's the best thing for them, having that news come out, because it's not even like it's a big fine. It's not like $1 million per game. It's like $5,000. That's what you pay like someone's 10-day each day. So it's not too bad. And it's Kyrie. He can honestly foot the bill himself, but the Nets want to win a chip this year, so they need him, every game right now, because they're gonna have road trips, they're gonna have home stands, so you're gonna have, Kyrie play 7 games and then you come home for a 8-game homestand and he's just sitting in West Orange. Like, no, you can't let that happen.
I say they do it, but not to playoffs. Do it in the playoffs when it matters. And I was reading the reports on it. The math on that, because it's first game, you get a warning. Second one, you get 1K. Third one is 2K. The fourth offense is 5K, and everything after that is 5K, right? The math on that for the entire playoffs, if they went 7 games every series, got to the finals, $68,000, which is between y'all owner and Kyrie, that's a penny in the bucket. Playoff time, do it. Pay them fines. And maybe we gotta look at Kyrie differently. He said in an interview when he came back, he's like, yo, whether it's the state, whether it's the league, hopefully things get figured out. Who saw this coming except Kyrie? Who saw this coming?
I just don't think it's a viable way for him to actually play. Because Woj put out a tweet earlier today saying there's some kind of weird clause in the NBA's rule book that every team has to abide ultimately by their state's mandates around the vaccine and protocols and all that stuff. So I don't think they can actually do this. Obviously, if they could, and if they can, hopefully I'm wrong. If they can, there's no brainer. You do it. I just don't think you can. I think he has to get vaccinated.
Leave it to Woj to find that clause.
Well, Woj also reported that, but he also said this morning, he said that he thinks Kyrie's going to be back as a full-time player this year, which means I think that he must have some inside information, because Woj doesn't speculate. He must have some kind of inside information that, you know, Kyrie, maybe his boy Kev told Woj that Kyrie's considering getting the shot. And if that's the case, and I also heard James Harden make a joke last night after the game, after the Nets washed the Bulls. My God, that was bad. Ooh. After they watched the Bulls, I heard Harden, you know, had a joke where he said, I'll give him the shot my damn self. I don't think he would say that. You know, I don't think he would say that if he didn't have a little something going on there. I think he's thinking about getting this shot because he wants to play basketball. So he'll get the shot, and we'll be NBA champions. I'll see y'all in what June? I'll see you guys in June. That's it. It's that simple. Nets in 5. We taking Giannis out. I can't wait for y'all to see Giannis, bro. God, I've been waiting for this for so long.
Yeah. The Nets, they big three. It's been set from jump. Scary hours.
Scary hours.
The rest of the East, y'all need to take the model that we end the show with. And I'm talking Milwaukee, Miami. If y'all stay ready, y'all don't got to get ready. Bench mob, we out. Peace.
Peace.